Hello and happy new release day. Qlik Sense June 2018 has landed. I'm Michael Laverick from Catalyst IT Solutions and I'm going to be taking a look at some of the new features in the new product. I'll be taking a look at the ability to publish and approve your sheets and apps all within the hub, to filter your files down within the data manager, and then look at the new Insights feature which builds on the augmented intelligence engine that was introduced in the April release. There are new scrollable sheets, a new and improved expression editor, and now if you right-click on your charts, you can quickly view them as tables so that you can check those values. Lastly, we'll have a look at line layers in maps, which was previously a feature only available in the GeoAnalytics product. So let's dive in and have a look. So here we are in Hub, and you may have noticed here on the left-hand side a new published area. So previously, when you published an application, it went to the stream, but it also stayed within your work area, and things could become very quickly cluttered. So now when we right-click onto an app, hit Publish, and we'll send it to the Everyone stream. If I have a look in the Everyone stream, there's my app for everyone to see, but it's also within my own published area and no longer kept within the work area. In June 2018, we can also approve community sheets from within the hub, meaning we don't have to keep going back to the QMC. So let's do an example of this. Let's duplicate one of the sheets. That goes down into my work area. Let's just call that test. Now, no one else would be able to see this if I published it, but I could click on Publish, and it would go to a separate published area away from the base sheets. Now this might not be desirable because you may want a particular flow to your dashboards and it's not good to have it in a separate area. However, now in June 2018, we can right click onto that and hit this approve button. And there we go, my sheet has been added to the base sheets. And also if I wanted, I can move it back, so I can hit unapprove and there it goes. And also unpublish. So we now have complete control over the sheets all within a hub, something we previously had to do exhaustively in the QMC. Okay, let's have a look at the data manager. I'm just going to come out of that published one. I'm going to duplicate that to send it back to my work area. And now that it's in my work area, I can edit. So when this loads up, we'll jump over to the data manager. And we're going to have a look at the new feature of filtering files. So previously we had to load in an entire file, and by file I mean spreadsheets and CSVs and so forth. So let's go and add some new data. I've got an attached file already with some sales data. Let's select that. And now, up on the top right, we have this new filters button. And what I'm going to have a look at is maybe filtering this file down so that I only get records where the city is Portland. So all we have to do is add a new filter, pick the field that we're interested in, which in this case is city, and then enter the value. Let's go with Portland. Okay, and that's built a filter for us, which is essentially just going to place a where clause into our script. Now, I'm not actually going to run that because I want to keep all of that city data for the map data that we're going to demonstrate later. Let's jump back out of that. So now I think it's time to have a look at the Insights feature. And when this loads up and we go into a sheet, we'll also notice there's a bit of a new look and feel to Qlik Sense now. So the global search has moved over to the left-hand side. And over on the right-hand side, we have the new Insights feature. It's going to ask me to put in a query of what I would like to see. So I'm interested in seeing sales by order date. And I don't have to be exact with the fields, which is great. And after hitting enter, Qlik is going to make some suggestions of what I might like to see. And this looks pretty spot on. I've got my sum of sales over time over year and month. So yeah, I want to use that, so I can add that into a sheet, or I can even add that to a brand new sheet. Let's do that. And then if I come out of that, I can go over to my new sheet, and there we have my chart. So Qlik has basically done a whole heap of work for me. I might need to just format some of the titles on this. Let's go back in and ask it something else. So what if I'm interested in two metrics? I might be interested in sales and profit by category. So I'm getting shown some of the charts that I've got there already, but I'm quite interested in this new one that it's come up with, this scatter chart. So I'm going to add that to my sheet as well. And then let's go and view that. So I'm building a dashboard on the fly simply by asking Qlik questions. This is going to be brilliant for new users, and even for experienced developers, it might suggest a chart that you hadn't previously considered. So what else is new in the product? Well, if I head on to Edit and then have a look at the right-hand side sheet properties, I have a new option there to extend the sheet. What does that do? Well, toggle that on, hit Extend Sheet, and suddenly I have a whole new area to work with, essentially a scrollable sheet. This could be particularly useful if you're developing for mobile users and you want to try and keep everything on one sheet that they can scroll down through. It's a much welcome feature. There's also enhancements to the expression editor. Let's jump over to that. Let's pick a measure and let's go in and have a look. So if I wanted to build a brand new expression, before we were able to filter down our table, select a field. So let's find sales and an aggregation like sum, and then insert that. That's what we could do before, but now what we can do is bring in, I just want to look at distinct sales, or maybe total sales if I wanted to work out the percentage of the total. Let's insert that. I've also got an enhanced functions area where I can have a look at all of the functions within Qlik Sense and get a breakdown of what I need to include for that expression to work. Also, much welcome is the ability to view all of your variables and bring those in as well. Let's jump over to my main sheet and have a look at another new feature in the June product. So when looking at this chart here, I can't see the values. I could toggle them off, but actually I don't want to display this. I just want an overview of the representation of the total within each category and each country. However, as a user, I can right click onto this and I can go to view data. I can quickly look at the values and the breakdown of those, and then I can go back to my chart. So this will be particularly useful when you're error checking your charts. No longer will you have to copy and paste in a brand new chart. You can just simply right click, toggle it over to a table, view the underlying data, and then toggle it back. The last thing that I want to show on there is an enhanced feature of mapping, the ability to add in lines. So this was something that you could do with the full GeoAnalytics product, but we can now do it within the base Qlik Sense product. I'm going to go into the edit mode of this chart and have a look at the layers. So at the moment, I've got an area layer on there, and I've also got a point layer on there. And I'm going to add a new one, which is going to be my lines. So let's select that. And I want lines between cities. So let's have a look for the city field. There we go. And then within the location, I simply need to set a start point and an end point for my line. So I'm actually going to want these to end in each city, and I want my lines to start from, let's say, Dublin. Let's imagine that we're looking at distribution from a warehouse in Dublin. So there we go. We can see our lines. They're all of equal thickness and they're all the same color. We can do something about that. Within the width, let's bring in an expression. So I want to control the width using sales. So let's have sales and let's have the average sale. Okay, that's a bit better. I can further control the overall width range and I can add a curve in there. If I really want as well, I can add in arrows. So let's add a forward arrow and let's move that right to the end. Okay. And then finally, I'm going to add some color to this as well. Let's go with color by measure. And this time, let's do something like the number of orders. So if I find the individual order ID, there we are down at the bottom, and we'll count the number of orders. Okay, let's pick a color range for that. Happy with that, click on done. Let's expand this up so that you can see it a bit better. And here is our brand new map. As usual with the new mapping, we can draw around this. So let's draw around most of Europe and zoom in. There we go. It's a very welcome new feature. Okay. So as you can see, there's a lot to play with in the new release. A lot for new users to make their life easier, but also for experienced developers as well. So download it, play with it, have fun, and thank you very much for watching.